Good evening, rugby lovers. Welcome to Driving Maul on Loud Radio. Sharky.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
So it's been 5 seconds and you haven't fucked up.
No, not yet. Driving Maul, where blokes judge rugby. It's time to judge some rugby. And I suppose first and foremost is to just talk about a little bit of Western Province Club rugby to get us going.
Yeah, there were only 3 games in the Super A this weekend, with obviously Stellenbosch and UCT still on their holiday break. Belhar hosted Belleville in what is kind of a sort of bottom of the table clash, except Tygerberg are lower. But Belhar lost to Belleville 2022, so quite a tight and exciting game. I didn't pick up how the flow went of that game, so I'm not sure.
3 tries apiece.
It's not sure if they sneaked it in the end or
3 tries apiece conversion, basically the difference.
100%. But I'm talking about it. Was it at the end, the last dying seconds? Then Helderberg.
I'm going to go with a touchline conversion to win it.
Okay, nice. SK Warmers, who's sitting fourth at the moment, went to Stellenbosch to take on Helderberg, and I said last week it was going to be a bit of a tough game because the youngsters over there always like putting up a decent fight, and Helderberg lost to SK 25-26, also another absolute humdinger of a game. Massive for Helderberg. If they could have they were going to sneak a little win out of that, would have done the rest of their season the world of good. I think a good bit of confidence. And then the last game the last game we're going to chat about, Hammies took on Tygerberg in Greenpoint and gave them a bit of a hiding, 64-33. Now, I was at the game and I was watching quite a bit of it, and Tygerberg actually scored 2 tries in about 4 minutes just before the end. It was flipping exciting. It kind of made the game a little bit more exciting, even though the Hammies were sort of.
Yeah, it was a 14-try thriller.
Yeah, we're giving them a bit of a hiding. But Durban were off this weekend. They still topped the log. Played 11 with 44 points. Then it's Smarties played 9 with 39. UCT played 9 with 36. SK Warmers played 13 with 35 points. And Hammies played 9 with 32 points. Below that is Vix, Helderberg, Belleville, Belhar, and Tygerberg. So it's still pretty tight up there, and I know that the guys are basically fighting. It's Durbal, SK, and Hammies are fighting for the Community Cup spots, and then the other sort of wild card position. So it looks like it's going to be Durbal that are going to take it, and then obviously Hammies and SK are fighting it out. Hammies got quite a few games in hand and only 3 points behind. And this weekend, the fixtures for this weekend, there are 2 games on, and it's Hammies are hosting Belleville this weekend in Greenpoint. So come down and watch if you're in Cape Town. And then the other game is Tygerberg Belhar, if I'm not mistaken, which is also going to be a pretty decent kind of little derby game. And then on Friday night, I know that there's Strand United are taking, I don't know who they're taking on in the Super B, but it's on Friday night, so it's going to be a bit of a cracker. Just one more result that we need to chat about is last week we spoke about
Tygerberg SK and Hammies Belleville.
Sorry, Tygerberg SK. We spoke about last week is False Bay took on Villagers at Village last week Friday and gave them a bit of a hiding. All 3 teams demolished Villagers, and Villagers didn't put a point on the board, so not looking good for them. They won't get relegated this year.
44-0.
Yeah, all 3 teams got 0. So
why would you turn up? My brother's playing 4th there. I must ask him what their result was.
Yeah,
maybe they've got a cheer. 4th team. They didn't play.
Anyway, so I know False Bay are looking pretty dead set to move up into Super A next year. Village hopefully can rebuild and pull things together for the year after. And
they weren't even like 44, 50 something and 50 something.
Yeah,
first, second,
proper
thirds.
hiding.
Woo!
Bonus point wins and conceded 0 points for all 3 sides.
Fuck me.
And that's club rugby.
That is club rugby. On to the Rugby World Cup Sevens, and once again,
do we get angry now? Or?
Well, what a joke, first and foremost. I've seen bigger crowds at Camps Bay High, Sea Point High derby games.
And Sea Point don't play rugby anymore. And there was talk the whole time, 100,000 tickets sold, and in fairness, they did have some shitty weather on the last day. They really did.
Sure, but there was a whole Saturday where there was
Yes.
fuck all.
I was trying to help out. I was trying to be the nice guy.
But kudos to RB for trying to spread the game. I think they might have been trying to spread it a bit too thinly there. New Zealand thrashed England 33-0 to win the title. New Zealand now hold the 15s in men's and women Rugby World Cups, the 7s in men's and women Rugby World Cups, and the Rugby League World Cup.
And if only they could have taken the Junior World Cup. That was the only thing they're missing. But I tell you one thing, I watched that final, and England were positively outplayed.
No, thrashed.
They came there with a great. The Kiwis went there with a great game plan. They executed it very, very well, and the English were kind of deer in the headlights. But Sir Gordon Tietjens has, in fact, you know what? We'll get back to it. I'm going to read you his roll of honor in a sec. Just let me find it for you, and you can carry on with the rest of it.
Well, it's on to the Blitzbokke, who once again flattered to deceive us. They didn't concede a point in their opening 3 games across the first 2 days of the competition, and then go and lose their quarterfinal to their bogey side Fiji, 12 points to 10. But the big talking point is the IRB judicial farcical system that exists. Kyle Brown gets pinged by a citing commissioner for hands in a face making a tackle, hands slid up and blah blah blah, gets a 6-game ban. At about 1 o'clock in the morning, they come back with the decision. They appeal it back there 9 a.m. on the day of their quarterfinal, and it gets upheld. And they're like, "Well, you know what? Actually, you're right. 6 games is a bit too much. We'll make it 2 for nothing."
It was. I didn't see it, but I didn't see one person support that bit of rubbish that went on. The RB made some dodgy calls. Just going back to Sir Gordon Tietjens and his sort of roll of honor, he's now won 11 of the 14 the RB 7 series. Okay, so he's only lost 3 of them. He's got over 4. He's got 4 Commonwealth Games titles. He's got 2 Rugby World Cups. He's got 38 All Blacks have been in his 7 sides as well. That's not bad. You could say it's pretty decent.
Olympic gold?
Not yet. It's
coming.
Don't you
Rio.
worry. See, Sonny Bill Williams put his hand up. Listen, I want to go play
in Rio.
I
want to go play in Rio.
He says he wants to. He's making himself available for the New Zealand 7s and another one of the league stars over there. I can't think of his name right now.
Interesting. Time will tell. I don't think they need them. They've got some quality in there.
They don't even need him for marketing either.
No.
I think they're pretty good on their own.
I think we should play a bit of music, and when we come back, we can start debating the Lions series and all the shenanigans that have gone on in team selections in the last day or two between those 2 Kiwis frothing at the mouth for a series win. You're listening to Driving Maul on Loud Radio. Time for a little bit of Led Zeppelin to follow up the ZZ Top we opened the show with. We'll be back with you in a little bit. Welcome back to Driving Maul on Loud Radio, where blokes judge rugby. Sharky, it's time to talk about the Lions and the Wobblies.
Wow, I have so much to say.
I just want to start it off by saying frustration. I watched the game delayed because I was out with the family, but I managed to keep my phone off, so I didn't know the score.
Well done. That's impressive.
Yeah, and
that means you weren't even looking at Twitter either.
No,
which means your wife likes you because you're spending more time with the family.
No, the phone was
nice.
Battery died. Phone was off. I was like, you know what? And people were like, don't want to hear.
la.
Epic game to watch. Even I, watching a recording, not knowing the score, was emotionally involved at the end in terms of, come on, Wallabies, take this to the next one. But God Almighty, was that a cuck game of rugby? I mean, the handling errors. I know they were all trying.
Very stop-start. And
inside a stadium with the roof closed, it was like they were playing with glycerine fucking soap on the ball.
It was crazy, considering the worst part about it, if the first game was like that, we'd been okay with it. But the first game wasn't. The first game was wet. There was a whole bunch of stuff. It wasn't on a closed roof, yada, yada, yada. And dished out 3 tries. 4 tries. And what a game. Running the ball and everything. Come Saturday, and the guys are just, they're running around without fingers on the end of their hands. It was crazy. It was a bit, stop-start and everything, but I think the reality of it set into the Wallabies as well. They knew they had to keep it tight. They knew they had to keep it tight to win the game so they could draw the series.
Well,
and the Lions knew they had to keep it tight to win the game to win the series.
But the Lions were also on the back foot from the first whistle with Makavanapolo getting absolutely schooled for 80 minutes, however long he was on the field.
We mentioned it last week. That guy is not... what's he got? 3-4 caps for England. He's 22, 23 years old, and you're putting him up against that front row? Are you joking with me? I play centre. I even know that I'm stupid. Like, Gatlin's stupid to put him in. There's got to be other options. He's definitely a player to come off the bench and use a bit of impact. But Corbusier is back this weekend. Massive player, massive scrummager, so he's going to kind of bolster the Lions up front a touch. But shit, man, what a try. The Aussies behind almost the whole game. One of the best pick and drives I've ever seen from a backline player in my life. Who did he pick up?
Oh no, that was nuts. That's like my highlight of the weekend. George North with the ball in hand gets
and a ball in a wallaby,
and then instead of him getting tackled by Israel Folau, he picks Folau up.
That's right,
and carries
Folau.
him.
And Folau's not exactly a small guy.
Emergency fireman style, 10-15 meters up the field before Folau then does a full WWE WrestleMania fucking
suplex
throw and nearly breaks his fucking neck for him.
I was blown away, but probably one of the best pictures. Have you seen that picture?
So there's mayonnaise all over the place.
He's carrying him. He goes, I'm going to take you and I'm going to beat him. But I mean, North and we spoke about it. Tommy Bowe didn't have a massive game. I thought that Cuthbert's unlucky to get dropped. He's not even in the side this weekend.
No, exactly. And I mean, ultimately the game was won by an Adam Ashley Cooper try at the death.
Come on.
And that was like the first decent phase of play the Wallabies had put together. That it went past, I think, 4 or 5 phases.
And
they were just woeful.
3 weeks I've been abusing James O'Connor at fly-half, and he made that try. He held onto the ball long enough and offloaded well, but still don't think he should be 10.
And then Lee Halfpenny didn't quite have the full penny from 55 out.
No.
To get to steal the win at the death on the Huda penalty for the Lions.
The irony.
Much like the week before when Bill went ice skating instead of.
The thing is, if Bill had held his footing, I think he would have had the legs and got the win there. But that's irrelevant. It was we're absolutely down for one of the best finals, and that's all everyone's talking about. Super Rugby's great, but come 12 o'clock on Saturday, I'm gonna have a pint of Guinness in my hand and be shouting for the Wallabies again. Third, do you know that I was the only one in Mitchell's out of 40 people shouting for the Wallabies? Do you know how alone I felt? Is that how Australians feel?
It must be. So this week's team news, and Warren Gatland has robbed us all of an historic moment. It was all, the cards were falling into place. Brian O'Driscoll dropped for the first time in his career. Gatland was the one who gave him his debut for Ireland all those years ago. He's out of the 23 altogether. It ends his 12-year stint as a Lions player. Rugby reasons, and when you listen to Gatland talking about it, at the end of the day, if you take emotion out of the equation and blah, 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 he's dead on. The simple fact is O'Driscoll probably wouldn't have been first choice for the tests if the others had been fit. They are all now fit, so Tuilagi comes in on the bench, and big Jamie Roberts joins Jonathan Davies in the centres.
Which is a great centre pairing.
But the reason I say he robbed us is Dingo Deans has picked George Smith for his 111th Wallaby cap, fully 4 years after he retired from international rugby. Michael Hooper drops out of the starting 15 for Smith to come in. Smith and Brian O'Driscoll played in the 2001 series between Australia.
It would have been crazy,
It would have been lovely to have those two trundle out. Anyway, we're not going to have it.
My concern, and I completely agree with the centre pairing selected, but I'm going to contradict myself here, is I don't believe that they have a true captain on the field. And that Alan Wynne-Jones is captaining the side, am I right? Yes, he is. I think the only thing, and I spoke to your fair, I think the only thing he's got in his favour is that there's so many Welshmen in the side, and they're all really, they really are motivated to get one thing going. For one result. So
there's no leaders that you can see there in terms of that have done anything on a regular basis leading a country.
I tell you,
but Gatland, like you say, 6 changes, 10 Welshmen to start the game in New South Wales.
The big thing for me is Ben Youngs has dropped out of the squad altogether as well. I also don't think that he should have been starting. I think he possibly could have, if lucky, could have been on the bench, and he's been starting. His brother Tom Youngs also drops off. Also, I wasn't a massive fan. He's been pretty decent, but he's been doing the job. He hasn't been spectacular, so I can't really take anything away.
Makavanapola must be the luckiest prop around
Agreed.
to hold on to
three Lions test starts. Dan Cole on the bench, massive. Richie Gray, pretty decent. Justin Tupuric. The big discussion we were having was who's going to replace Warburton. Was it going to be O'Brien or Tupuric? And I'm glad to know. Well, you'll be glad to know that O'Brien's starting. He was your first choice. I
honestly love that kiddo. I love watching him play rugby.
He's gonna bash some holes in the Aussies.
It's O'Brien versus George Smith. Cannot wait.
It's going to be huge. Connor Murray on the bench, great option at scrum off. I think with Murray and Phillips, I think you got two phenomenal scrum offs, both really big guys and very.
And then a Tongan and a Samoan on the bench for the British and Irish Lions.
Who would have thunk?
Yeah, there you go.
Owen Farrell, is going to come down to him.
Oh, I don't know. For the Wallabies, I think it's going to come down to Jesse Mogg.
Yes, I would love for him to score the winning try.
The Wallabies haven't changed much. In fact, the only change is that George Smith one that we were talking about. He comes in, as we said, for his 111th Test match and his second crack at the Lions in a career. Not too many players would have done that either. It's since the 12-year rotation started again. And then there was one change. Ben McCullum comes in on the bench as well, with only two backs in the back on the bench.
Absolutely blown away by that. I can't. I don't understand it.
I can, because it's going to be tight, and Hooper can play in the back line. He's already shown it for.
Whoa! Why did they lose the first game? Because Hooper was out of position in the back line. So you shut your mouth, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. You belong in the tight five. Shush. They have named two backs in the back on the bench. That is all. The only problem, one of their backs, Nick Phipps, can only play scrum half.
Yeah, but their entire backline can play everywhere.
It doesn't matter. You've got two injuries and a centre and a fullback, and you stuffed. You move guys around. Maybe you put Phipps on the wing and put Mogg at fullback. I don't know, but what do you do?
No, I agree with you. I think it's fucking madness for a decider, but I do understand the logic from the perspective of it's going to be a forward battle of attrition.
I mean, you're going to have to copy Kepu at 10. What are you going to do?
And then Ben Alexander and Ben Robinson. Here's I
love that front row. Ben Alexander, Stephen Moore, and Ben Robinson.
I've got a little pop quiz for you. Where the hell?
What do you do?
Did it go? What did I do with it?
I don't know, but you've had 6.5 days to prepare for this.
No, I opened it up before we went back on air. It's got to be here. There we go. Found it. A little bit of a quiz. Tamufuana, Fennell, Robinson, Afiaki, May, Franks, Alexander, Daly, Whittaker. Who's the odd one out?
I don't know. I'd have to say Whittaker because he doesn't have any hair left.
No, Robinson.
Why?
He's the only Ben with two ends. Bye.
Squeak. Was that it?
Dude, that was an absolute honey.
That's fantastic, but I'm more importantly trying to figure out your stupid dumbass pop quizzes because his name's spelled different.
They're all Super Rugby front rankers named Ben.
I don't care.
But one of them's with two ends. But that was the trick, was because they're all front rankers. But
thank God you're not a teacher. Okay, moving along.
Ben, tummy off full now. Wallabies, Lions, in a decider.
Okay.
Oh, the big debate. Getting back to IRB and their bollocks. James Horwell. He gets cleared by one citing commission. The IRB actually appeal the decision themselves. We all go, thank God they did, because how did he get away with that? And true's Bob, he gets let off a second time. Double jeopardy, thanks for coming. And now he's going to be captaining against the guy whose head he stood on, who will be captaining the Lions.
There's going to be a lot of fire and a lot of spice, and I really am looking forward to it. And I tell you something,
Did you see Horwell cry like a bitch when the final whistle blew?
Yeah, but it's huge. Think about it. I mean, it's massive. We're all watching it, and we don't really care about any of the 5 nations that are playing. But I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be ginormous, and Sydney is going to be massive. Massive.
Daryl Impey is leading the Tour de France. Get in there.
Jeez, I missed that. I know he was second.
He was second to yesterday. He's obviously...
Has South African ever won the yellow jersey?
No. Daryl Impey becomes the first ever South African to wear the yellow jersey at the Tour de France.
Wow.
Get in there, son. Impey.
Yeah, awesome. Wait until he busts a fucking poop string because he's taken 48,000 drugs. Anyway, I'll wait for that. Cycling does not interest me.
No, nor do I, but it's awesome to see a South African
I'm happy
flag.
for him for now
That's
until he does something stupid with it. More importantly, who's going to win on Saturday?
Well, I think Darren Scott summed it up the best on Twitter when someone said, "What result do you want for the weekend?" He said a draw so they can all be miserable.
Absolutely world class. World class. I'll be honest with you, and everyone's known this. I'm more a fan of Australia than most other places, other than South Africa. I really would like the Wallabies to win. It all depends on what happens on Saturday, because let's be honest, the last 2 weeks could have gone either way. I mean, it could have been a reversal. It could have been the Wallabies 1-0 up and the Lions 1-1 to draw it. So I'd like to think that home ground advantage is gonna sway it. I think the back line for the Lions is huge. I think their centre pairing is massive. Their 10 is flipping decent. Their 9 is good. I think like up until is brilliant. And Halfpenny's dead-eye dick at the moment. So
here's why I think Australia will win it. Because Gatlin isn't sure what his starting 15 is. He's made 5 changes and 6 changes for Test 2 and Test 3. You've got guys coming back in that haven't played rugby for 2 or 3 weeks. And
I was going to get there.
Yeah, the Wallabies are settled. They have the momentum because
they are focused.
Yeah, they won the second test. They go into Sydney knowing that they won against with their backs to the wall.
So after this whole speech, you're going with the Lions on Super Brew, right?
It's Wallabies.
I'm going Wallabies by 6.
Yeah, I made the mistake of going Wallabies by 9 last weekend, and I'm going to say it's going to be a little bit closer than that, and I will go with another 1-point Wallaby win.
Okay, I'm going Wobblies by 6. I'm going to put these puppies in now.
I'm going to play a Bob Seger double header, and then when we come back, we will talk Super Rugby proper. Because there was no Australian sides playing.
And again, it's beautiful.
And again, it's outstanding. Folks, you listen to Driving Maul on Loud Radio. We'll be back after a little bit of Bob Seger doubleheader, Rambling Gambling Man, followed by Old Time Rock and Roll. Welcome back. It's the home stretch at Driving Maul. Time to talk a little bit of Super Rugby. Just had bouncing around here, thinking about the fact that this is Safa in the 100th tour in yellow. First time ever, as much as we both agree that it's a farcical fucking joke of the sport.
I just can't believe that a South African can afford those drugs that Lance Armstrong takes. That's crazy. Well done. No, that's wrong. Well done, bud. That is actually phenomenal.
Outstanding. Outstanding effort. Right, let's get on to talking about Super Rugby proper.
Oh, man.
5 games this weekend.
More importantly, what are we kicking off with tomorrow? Because that is a humdinger.
No, absolutely. We'll definitely get to that. But there were 5 games this weekend. They were all derbies aside from the Sharks-Blues game. The Blues have now gone 10 seasons without a win against the Sharks.
Thank God you didn't tell me that last week, because if I'd known that, the Sharks would have lost, because they tried really hard to lose.
Definitely. And a lot of the rugby was a bit skittish and all over the place, as you'd expect from sides that have had 3 or 4 weeks off. The first game on Friday morning, Chiefs versus Hurricanes. Chiefs basically are just keeping the foot on the accelerator.
Yeah.
As they cruise into another home semi-final, probably. 34-22 over the Hurricanes. Matt Van Leeuwen, Bandiaki, Kerbalo, and Ben Tummy are full now with the pies. All 4 converted by Cruden, who added 2 penalties. TJ Perinara, Bowden Barrett, and Alapatuluai scored 4. The Canes, Barrett kicked 2 conversions and a penalty.
Bowden Barrett cannot stop scoring tries. It's these 2 tries on the same field, incidentally. Didn't they play on the same field that he played? Oh, no, they didn't.
No. But it thoroughly enjoyable game to watch. And then the other one, Saturday morning, Highlanders back to self after causing a few upsets on Super Brew for 1 and 2 of us.
Damn it.
Getting absolutely bombed by the Crusaders. 40 points to 12, the final score. But arguably the pass of the weekend by Tomato Ellison.
Jesus.
Can you imagine a Maori boy named Tomati? But Tamati Ellison with a backdoor round the corner, being hit in the tackle to Ben Smith on his outside to crash over for a try. And
in the words of Sumo,
yeah, Sumo Stevenson, I don't care what you say. That's the best pass I've ever seen. And it was right up there. But the Crusaders ran away with it, and Telesur Villeneuve scored arguably the try of the weekend for me. From his own 22 with time up on the clock, jinking, stepping this way, that way, turning defenders inside their own underpants before going in under the sticks.
His start, I mean, he picked the ball up in his 22, and to start off, he made a little gap and made some running through. Defender did the right thing on him at the end and followed him. He went for a pass and he threw him an outrageous dummy, and the seas just parted and he went straight through. What a great try for a guy who used to play for the Highlanders last year. So
indeed. And the other talking point to come out of that is I, for one, have been one to say, well, Dan Carter, is he what he used to be? But, geez, what a game he had.
Yes, he was. The best part about Daniel Carter is when he not playing well, he's still one of the better fly halves you'll ever watch. But when he plays well, he is unbelievable.
World class, eh? Really,
he was dictating. He was dictating.
When
the puppeteer.
When he attacks the gain line and gets through the gap like he does for his try, and I think he set up the other one for George Whitelock with a break. No, he really is something special.
Do you only realise this now?
No, I know, but there's been a lot of is he done? Has he run his course? Did the groin blow out in the World Cup?
He'll be in the next World Cup.
Yeah. The Sharks somehow managed to conspire to beat the Blues, as you said. Frank the Tank Halai, though, with a couple of belting tries himself.
And the man that, I don't know, should be playing outside centre forever. He was on the bench this week and then he came on. Rene Ranger. Oak's a machine.
I'm sure he made a hit in this game as well.
Quite possible. He's pretty solid, eh? Makes some big hits.
But it was a Rion Fillion try after the hooter that got the Sharks home somehow, because they were leading quite comfortably and then they just fell apart and the Blues came back at them, and then
I couldn't watch the whole game. I was at Hammy's watching some club rugby and partaking in some fines and what. But did Louis Ludic play at 13 towards the end of that game?
And he was playing at 13 in that game against the Lions.
I'm a massive fan of Louis Ludic, and I think he's one of the best fullbacks. And I just think that Rian Fillion can't play anywhere else except on the wing, so they had to put Ludic at 13. Well,
I saw him in that game against the Lions the week before, and Hugh Bladen was singing his praises.
Louis Ludic for the last 2 years, has been the best fullback we've had in this country. He's you won't ever get past him. He's solid on defence. So.
Indeed. And then on to
Bulls Kings.
Yeah, that big blue train is just rolling on.
Not so quietly anymore. They tick through.
48-18, and you know what annoys me the most about that? I sat here and said to you, Bulls by 25, and then went and picked them by 5. And I was so angry with myself.
What a chop.
No, totally. But Louis Foucher with a try before destroying himself. Chili Boy Radapella, Jan Serfontein, Francois Hurgard, Jacques Potgieter, Dion Stegman. I do believe it was Macykin's last game at Loftus.
Yep. He's gone because they've got the young JJ centre pairing this weekend. Wimpy van der Walt gets a try for the Kings. That guy's also scoring. Sorry, true. He's also scoring a fair amount of points for the Kings. That's
that rolling Maul. But that big blue train is cruising its way to top of the pops. Look, they play the same amount of games now as the Chiefs. They got 2 less points, but the Chiefs, as we said, have got the Crusaders, while the Bulls have got the Sharks this coming weekend. And
in Kings news, a little birdie sent me a message saying that
Solly's going to the Edinburgh Festival.
Alan Solomon's off to Edinburgh in Scotland soon for not for a holiday.
No.
So
why would you?
Yeah, this is true. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
48-18, they absolutely trounced them, and they become only the second team to win the conference title in the new Super Rugby format because the Stormers have won the first two. And an interesting debate on that popped up in the week because a lot of people think that, whatever, it's the conference title. But actually, we maybe need to be taking it a little bit more seriously than we do because it's the only way that you actually see how solid or the quality. It's the only way you see the top sides in South Africa at full strength week in, week out, because it's a watered-down Currie Cup with the box missing for most of it during that rugby championship, blah-de-blah. They only really come back for like the last round and the semis and the final.
Yeah.
So the Currie Cup, as much as we all like to think it's the be-all and end-all, actually people are saying, well, maybe the conference title in Super Rugby is worth more.
No, that's right.
Then on to the Stormers. Shock horror. They score from a rolling maul. They get 3 tries for the bonus point. Oh, no, wait. It's not 3 tries for a bonus point. Sia Khaleesi, I didn't see the game, but I hear he was head and shoulders above the rest. And it turns out played a large portion of the game with torn ankle ligaments that he didn't feel.
Yeah, he wouldn't because he's a machine. Beware the bear. But there's one person that needs a mention from the Stormers side that never often gets talking about. Scarron Timbeni. He put in possibly one of the biggest hits on Connie Oosthuizen.
That was the hit of the season.
Which is the hits of the week. Yeah. And I know you've put in someone else for hits of the week.
No, I'd forgotten about that one. You're absolutely right. In the opening minute.
That. And since then, he had this little fire in his eyes, and he destroyed guys, and he had a great game. Did you see when they went over for that try? Man. And Khaleesi, what a try, what a great angle, great offload by Schroeder. It burns me to say that, but it was a great angle by Sia Khaleesi. And the headlines are all, he's out for the rest of the season. It's fine. It's only 8 weeks. It's okay. He might miss a few of the Springbok games, but looking forward to seeing him back for the Currie Cup and back for the end of the year.
But Scarra Ntibeni, I thought it last year, and I wouldn't be surprised if that kid gets higher honours in years to come. He's only 22 years of age. And I actually haven't seen the hit, but I've been told in no uncertain terms of what quality it is because Connie Bang Oosthuizen was in full flight, tongue out, and he got smoked by all accounts.
I just want to know, did his flubber eat Scarra just on the impact? Did his flubber eat him and then fall away? Or I don't know what happened.
Nee, ek weet nie. But what it means is that there's another weekend of only Kiwis and South Africans playing Super Rugby. Crusaders Chiefs on Friday morning. Eh?
Should we have a break and run through this week's coming up afterwards?
We can do that. And we're going to break with the mold because it's been mainly like a lot of like 70s and 80s quality rock music here today. But in honor
quality
in honor of Daryl Impey, I'm going to bang this one out for you. I know, I am kind of nursing it. I do apologise for that.
That I was on there when I said that.
And welcome back to Driving More. Sharky trying to give me an education on how fast I should be drinking beer. But what I did realise is that I'd forgotten about the fact that my missus has been taken away for 2 nights with the kids by my mother-in-law.
Fantastic. Whose round is it then? Must be yours.
There's an Xbox marathon coming tonight too.
Such a pity you play Xbox. I am still thinking about that Scarra hit. Yesy! And that was early on in the game, eh? Like 3 minutes, 5 minutes ish.
Skulk Jonker formerly from Sports Illustrated. So let me guess, you all have been following Daryl Impey's career since he started, and you always knew he had it in him. Am I right? Yeah, that hit. I'd love to see it. I can't find it anywhere on the internet, and I didn't record the game, so
Interweb.
I'm so annoyed. If anyone's got a clippage of it, send it.
The footage.
Yes. Right, on to Super Rugby this weekend, and all of a sardine, people are talking about the outside chances for the Sharks and the Stormers, But basically, both have to win with bonus point tries in their last 2 games,
And they need help.
And the Cheetahs have to lose both of their last. They have to lose to the Blues this weekend, and the Blues then have to lose to the Crusaders when they go home.
I won't lie to you. The Blues to win this weekend is not an outside bet shot, and the Blues to lose against the Crusaders is also not a shit shot.
Yeah.
However, both the Stormers will win with 5 this weekend. I believe they will, and the Sharks have to.
At Loftus.
Beat the Bulls at Loftus with a bonus point.
But what annoys me is that these sides have been dicking around for the last 2 to 3 games where they've been winning games but not getting their bonus point
say
tries.
It again, please.
Dicking around. They have.
It's so true. It's brilliant. I like it.
It's like, play, score your 4 tries, because if they had, they'd be in a situation now where they could probably only need to win both their last games and they'd have an outside chance. Instead, they have to go to Loftus, both of them, because so do the Stormers.
I know it's. Yes, I'm bummed. The thing is you have the chat before the season starts. You have that chat with the team, and you earmark games. I can get 5 here. We can get 5 here. We can do this. And then you're like, we don't want to be in a situation where we have to go to Loftus and win with a bonus point, because let's be honest, the Bulls are that strong at home, and an 8-game winning streak at the moment. Those guys, that blue train is destroying people.
Well, I know the Stormers have
overtaking the gravy train.
I know the Stormers have only got one 4-try bonus point this season against the Kings.
That's another thing. They're not exactly renowned for it. Now they're the Sharks, let's be honest.
No, but the Sharks have also, I think, there was the Rebels game, and then they went trialist for 3.
You shut your mouth. Right,
take that back. On to Dean Narvik, the Crusaders, the Chiefs.
No, stop it. Anyway, more importantly,
it's in Addington. I was born in Addington Hospital in Durban.
Oh God.
No, I wasn't. I was born in Mother's Hospital in Durban.
This is by far between the Crusaders and the Chiefs and the Bulls and the Sharks for the game of the weekend, I believe. I think the Cheetahs and the Blues could also be in with a humdinger. I think the only dead certain is the Kings versus the Stormers, and possibly the Bulls versus the Sharks. Yeah. Oh no! Yeah, that is the only 2 dead certains. I'm quite confident the Bulls will win. The Sharks are very capable of winning there, but just judging by the way things are going, and then the Stormers will have to beat the Kings. But Cheetahs Blues can go either way. Hurricanes Highlanders can go either way, even though you'd favour the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
And the Crusaders Chiefs. Yes, with I've got Don disease. The performance that they were in, the Crusaders were in last week.
And it's Carter versus Cruden. Pretender to the ground versus the King.
Pretender. I think we'll see who's the actual pretender this weekend.
Indeed. And then, as you say, it's Hurricanes Highlanders. Toss a coin, pick a winner. Good luck. Cheetahs Blues. Everything says Cheetahs in Bloom, and with the bye to come, they need the win to guarantee that they finish in 6th place, and then they've got to
put your money where your mouth is. I'm going Crusaders by 5.
I'm going to go Chiefs by 5.
I'm playing that game. Hurricanes by 12.
Hurricanes by 5.
Oh, we still got to talk about Hurricanes. What's there to talk about?
Nothing. Those 2 sides' seasons are done. Moving swiftly along. Thanks for taking up TV space and letting us watch more rugby.
Cheetahs Blues.
Cheetahs by 5.
No. I'm going Blues by 2.
I'm a bit screwed in the next game because I've been picking the team starting with C for the last... Kings Stormers. I'm going to have to go with the Stormers thrashing of the Kings.
I haven't seen the lineup yet. Do you have the lineup?
I'd imagine that it is there. I just
want to know what's happening. Is Jean de Villiers back at 12?
No, he's not.
So they got Doogie, they got Damien at 12, and Juan de Jong at 13 again. Because De Allender was on another planet on Saturday as well. He was phenomenal. Damien probably gets... he was standing up to a couple of the big boys, some old Springboks, and doing some good stuff on the field. Lots of gas, really strong kid.
It's like pretty late on Thursday. It's probably like the middle of the night in New Zealand. Crusaders Chiefs have not announced their teams according to the website that usually puts teams up. Neither have the Canes or the Highlanders, and neither have the Blues. Stormers, Joe Peterson, Aplon, De Jong, De Allen, De Habana, Janjis, Scruder, Carr, Armand, Faree. Bit of a weak back row that. De
Bench.
Steenkamp, Evan Etzebeth, Brock Harris, Skara, and Skitsoff. Martin, Pat, Gerbrand Grobler, Reynald Elstad back from injury. Nick, get in there, Groom.
It's about
Gary
time.
Van Aswegen, and then Gerrit van den Heever.
Oh, I'm glad to see Gerrit van Heever back from injury. He was doing great stuff before he got injured.
Back row for the Kings. Jannie Engelbrecht, Wimpy van der Walt, Cornel de Pre.
Shark Engelbrecht.
That's what I meant.
Stormers by 12.
Stormers by 5.
3 minutes ago, you were like, they're going to destroy them.
No, it was when I looked at that back row and I was like, no, maybe not.
Bull Sharks.
Bulls by 5.
Bulls by 12.
Okay. There you have it. You heard it here first.
I've got a little bit of Super Brew remorse happening right now.
How can you look at yourself in the mirror and call yourself Sharky?
Stop it. That was fun.
It was indeed, Sean. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sir.
Folks, you've been listening to Driving Maul. We're Blokes Judge Rugby on Loud Radio. We will be back next week for more banter as we tie up. Oh, wow. Lisicki has just got through to the Wimbledon Women's Final. It's a pity. The little squeaky bum didn't.
Let's finish up.
Playing out with a little bit of Def Leppard. We'll be back next week. Chat to you then. Cheers, Sean.
Come on, Wallabies.
Go for the draw.